All right. Chapter 2 in the Biology of Emotion series, Letter to the Uninformed. Become aware of sensations, emotions, and needs. Name precise emotions. Emotions guide our response to events. This concept is fundamental and basic, but it can be difficult to understand, considering what you may have heard about emotions. You may have heard anger is bad, be happy, or they were acting worried. These common statements treat emotions as good or bad, as states of beings or actions. In reality, emotions are not good or bad or otherwise. Rather, they are directional guides whose purpose is to guide us away from danger and towards safety, as illustrated by the following diagram. Sensations, emotions, and needs pathway. Event, physical sensation, emotion. Need, and then a response. Boundaries and opportunities to take us away from danger and towards safety. So we have event to physical sensation, emotion, need, response, away from danger towards safety. Where danger is unfulfilling emotional distance, and safety is fulfilling emotional closeness. Emotions guide our responses. Central to the sensation, emotion, and need pathway, we have emotions. With emotion as an intermediate step between an event and our response, we have an innate mechanism to direct our responses. A mechanism is a combination of parts, movements, and steps that lead to a change, such as an action, function, or new situation. Seen this way, emotions act as guides in between the two other intermediate steps, and their function is to guide us to a higher probability of creating a response that takes us to a place of safety as opposed to danger. Let's look at how this works. The purpose of emotions becomes quite clear when we observe the direct function they have. For example, joy guides us to remain in safe places, with safe people, with enough resources, and in safe systems. Fear guides us to escape danger and seek safety. Sadness guides us to explore new options to get our needs met. Anger guides us to take actions we normally wouldn't in order to protect ourselves or others. You probably noticed that the emotions named above are very general. They're broad, they're not precise. While general emotions are a good start, really precise words help us find the underlying need more readily. The more precise you are, the better chance you have to get where the emotion is guiding you in a constructive and ethical way. Ethics is a set of principles deemed to be moral or fair, often aimed at achieving a positive outcome for the people involved. Therefore, we would ideally be aware of our emotions and those of the person we are interacting with. For some really good, precise words to describe emotions, consult the list below. Here we have a list of emotions. Under joy, we have alive, cheerful, confident, content, enthusiastic, euphoric, glad, happy, joyful, jubilant, peaceful, serene, and thrilled. Under fear, we have afraid, alarmed, anxious, apprehensive, bewildered, concerned, discouraged, frightened, ill at ease, shocked, timid, and worried. Under anger, we have angry, bad tempered, bitter, enraged, frustrated, furious, irritated, mad, nervous, offended, resentful, unhappy. Under sadness, anguished, depressed, desperate, devastated, disheartened, heartbroken, melancholic, somber, sorry, torn apart. Unhappy, worried. Under pride, we have proud. Under shame, we have ashamed, guilty. Under confidence, we have courageous, excited, confident. This list of emotions can be referred to in Appendix 2 at the back of this book. Also, by reading this letter, you have access to the EmoScroll web app version with access code in the back of the book. Identify specific needs. Many people don't realize how much of life is a need-meeting game. Some needs are obvious, like eating and sleeping. Other needs are not as apparent, like the need to see facial expressions and voice inflection when people speak. The way that emotions help guide our responses to events is by helping us identify the specific need that we have. While many people are familiar with the categories of basic needs, physiological, safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization, there are others, and it is important to identify your current need in a particular situation. Remember the sensation, emotion, and need pathway. We have event to sensation, emotion, and need, which leads to a response of boundaries and opportunities to take us away from danger, unfulfilling emotional distance, and to safety, fulfilling emotional closeness. Identifying needs. Being able to recognize and meet needs is critical in life. Emotions help guide us to pay attention, to feel our body, to reflect, and to identify specific needs. Knowing our needs helps us steer our responses to effectively meet them. Unfortunately, sometimes needs are not met. Let's look at what happens when we meet needs as opposed to leaving them unmet. Needs can be met optimally or non-optimally. Perhaps a child is angry that someone took her toy and she needs to be treated with fairness. In that situation, a parent can teach fair play and get the child's need met in a way that actually helps her optimally. On the contrary, imagine having the emotion of loneliness and then attempting to meet the need for companionship with alcohol, non-optimally. The emotion pointed to a need that was subsequently filled in a way that didn't actually meet the need. The whole point of becoming aware of needs is to meet them in a way that actually helps us. For this reason, it is important to be able to identify specific needs. The more specific we are in identifying our sensation, emotion, and need, the clearer it becomes to find a way to meet our need. Practice identifying specific needs that you and the ones you care about often have. Below is an alphabetical list of needs that you can use to get really specific. Choose the one that best fits your current situation. For additional practice, use the EmoScroll web app or the list of needs in Appendix 3 at the back of this book. Here's an alphabetical list of needs: acceptance, accomplishment, adaptation, affection, aid, assertiveness, attention, authenticity, autonomy, balance, be celebrated, be useful, celebration time, centering, chance to explain, change, collaboration, comfort, communication, confidentiality, connection, consciousness, cooperation, creativity, cry, detachment, discretion, eat or drink, emotional connection, emotional release, empathy, evolution, fairness, freedom, friendship, fulfillment, gentleness, go to the toilet, goal, harmony, heat, help, honesty, humility, independence, inspiration, integrity, interdependence, intimacy, joy, justice, kindness, kinship, learning, let off steam, light, love, meaning, movement, participation, peace, playtime, power, presence, pay attention, protection, quietness, rapport, reason, reassurance, recognition, relating, relaxation, resourcefulness, respect, rest, room, security, self-assurance, self-confidence, self-esteem, sharing, shelter, silence, sincerity, solitude, space for me, spirituality, spontaneity, stability, stress relief, structure, subsistence, teamwork, tenderness, to be understood, to let go, to share, to tranquility, transcendence, trust, understanding, vitality, warmth, well-being. Identifying needs. The ability to accurately identify needs is critical to avoid danger and reach safety. Remember the dodo bird? It wasn't able to identify the need to escape hunters and went extinct. Similarly, a dog with rabies will feel thirsty and attempt to meet its need in a way that makes more danger. Some people mistakenly try to meet their needs by attacking others, and other people ignore their own needs to their detriment. By identifying specific needs, we give ourselves the highest chance to meet them in a constructive way that leads us to safety. It is a tremendously valuable skill to be able to recognize your own needs and the needs of others. There's a reason that some people are called caring. They care for and about people's needs. But how can we be certain about what specific needs you or your friends have? So far, we have seen that emotions help guide us. Yet there is another strategy on the pathway that comes before emotions that is also a great indicator and guide. Let's look at physical sensations. Tune into physical sensations. Physical sensations are a wonderful gift. They allow us to pay attention to our surroundings and our emotions. Common usage of the word feeling includes both physical sensations and emotions. Physical sensations are feelings pertaining to how your body feels, often related to one of the five senses of touch, sight, hearing, smell, or taste, and often explained with descriptive words or phrases. You may have butterflies in your stomach or goosebumps on your skin. You may feel tense or tremble. These are sensations. We don't have that many specific words for sensations, so we often use analogies like, I feel like a lion in a cage, I feel like a bird soaring, or I feel bright and sunny. Even though we don't use them much in our speech, they are super important when it comes to identifying our specific needs. Even though we are discussing them after emotions and needs, sensations are so essential that they are, in fact, the first intermediate step on the pathway. Sensation tuning. Tuning into our body's sensations helps us identify precise emotions and specific needs. Many people have never heard of sensations. Sensations are the physical feelings of our body, like tingles, butterflies in our stomach, tenseness, feeling like goosebumps, etc. We often use imagery for these in everyday speech. We have the same pathway there with bold physical sensations. Sensations are extremely powerful in helping us identify our precise emotions and physical needs. Below is a list of common sensations. You can also refer to them with the EmoScroll web app or find them in Appendix 1 at the back of this book. Weather: bright and sunny, bolts of lightning, cloudy, rainy, stormy, windy. Colors: colorful like a rainbow, dark. Moon glistening, seeing red, feeling blue, white light. Temperature: I feel cold, I feel hot, shivering and sweating. Animals: I feel like a bird soaring, I feel like a lion in a cage, I have butterflies in my stomach. Body: I feel weak in the knees, I feel jittery, I have a headache, I have a lump in my throat, I have a stomachache, I have goosebumps, I have tears in my eyes, it took my breath away. Descriptive: I'm fed up, I'm shocked, I feel heavy, I feel light, I feel tense, I'm giggly, I'm raring to go. It hit me like a shot in the heart. It hit me like a ton of bricks. People often ask me, why should I do this? The reason we want to accurately identify sensations, precise emotions, and specific needs is to increase the probability of moving away from danger and toward safety. Sets of sensations, emotions, and needs are nature's way of guiding us to safety. In the context of relationships, this often means towards fulfilling emotionally close relationships with a sense of well-being. Learn the processes we all share. Have you ever played a board game and had no idea what the cards were for? What the rules were? Maybe the way the pieces moved seemed random. Well, most people would find that unsettling. What about when you knew the rules? You knew the purpose of the cards. The way the pieces moved made sense. Most people would have some level of comfort just knowing what was happening. Awareness of emotions and social processes is like knowing how the game functions. In this case, it is being aware of the patterns of our amazing biology. We have been dealt a set of strategies which we all share. I am talking about the survival strategies that are innate to life as a human. The ones that we have all shared for eons. These strategies are the sensations, emotions, and needs that help us navigate society. For our purposes, society consists of the people we interact with and communicate with. Yes, interacting with society is important for our survival in many ways. One way is to form relationships that contribute to our well-being. You might be wondering why we share processes that affect so much of our lives. Well, or why would we all have these in common? After all, aren't we all different? Well, if we all have a common need for survival, then there's a greater chance that we all share strategies to meet that need. Therefore, we want to look for patterns that show how the majority of people act. When we do that, we can identify these strategies. Even if we are oblivious, the good thing is that we still have all these strategies innate to our biology. But ignorance is not bliss, because external messages can derail us from navigating life in the way that is best for ourselves and our loved ones. Messages are words, phrases, labels, instructions, and inferred meaning by people or society. All these inputs contribute to the relationships we form, but most people don't see how this process takes place. Consider how empowering it would be to have relationship interactions that made sense. Even if you don't like everything about how people acted, that made sense even if you didn't like everything about how people interacted or how they acted. Tough sentence. Wouldn't it be nice if they were clear and made sense? How would you feel? Since these emotions and social pathways are so vitally critical that we all share them, by and large, it is time that we take notice of them. So much of our life depends on relationships, yet many people don't know the steps that occur in social pathways. Let's name the steps so that we can navigate relationships with precision and take ourselves where we must go, into the safe zone. Let's become aware of what happens within us and around us. See you in chapter 3, which is Gamify Your Biology.